Hello, magical gangsters. Welcome to another edition of Gangster Magician Tarot, where I'll be your host, the Gangster Magician himself, and I am here to deliver you a message, okay? Because I like to deliver messages. It's what I do. I do it every day, at least 2 times a day, okay? Sometimes more. You never know. You never know what kind of mood I'm in, all right? But today I'm in a good mood. I'm in a very, very good mood today. So, right? Archangel Michael, he says, yeah, brother. He says, I seen you. You're glowing, man. He says, I love it. That's what he tells me. He says, you guys are, he said, you're glowing over there, he told me. I said, good. I said, I hope that they're getting what they're supposed to get out of this. I said, that's good because they are going to get their wishes granted. Okay, because I have a clear quartz wand, okay? And I grant wishes all day, every day. So that's what I do. And I protect myself with black tourmaline, but I throw it at demons, okay? Because I love to throw black tourmaline at demons. They run. They for some reason, they just can't handle the black tourmaline. I don't understand it. It's amazing to me. It makes me laugh, okay? So what else makes me laugh is the fact that, all these characters that came up against you thought that they were going to, come away here with something. They really thought that they were going to become big shots at your expense, didn't they? They really did. They really thought that they were gonna, they were gonna have their coming out party at your expense. But no. They're just getting their going away party. That's all they're getting. No, that's all they're going. They're going away back to hell to never be seen or heard from again. And that is exactly where we're gonna send them. Because we don't like them. Okay, because they're greedy for pentacles. They didn't want to share the wealth. They wanted to keep everything from you. They thought that they were gonna, be the ones. Okay, and you were just gonna falter away and disappear. No, that's not happening. Okay, because you are the one who brings the fun. Because you are the sun. How would that ever be happening? You would never, ever block out the sun. Okay, that's not gonna happen. That is impossible. So just like blocking your light is impossible. Okay, and you know who else knows that? Your main man, your benefactor, the King of Wands, he's here. He loves you. He says you're the best. He says he's never seen anything like it. He says you are the best of the best, okay? And whoever came up against you now is under judgment. Because when they come up against you, they will be judged, okay? Because there's no reason to come up against you. Why are they coming up against you? We like to know, okay? Are they coming up against you because of the Ace of Wands? Because of your urge to create? Because you're an inspiration? Because of your new projects? Are they jealous? What is it? Why are they coming? What's their fucking problem? Oh, I get it. They're demons. That's what it is, okay? And you're not a demon. You're an earth angel. So, of course, you're going to have these people coming up against you. What did you expect? I mean, it is what it is. Remember that, okay? But you now know who you are. That's the thing. You then did not, okay? So there's nothing to fear at all, okay? And that's why there's fucking tumbleweeds around here, okay? Tumbleweeds. Nobody wants nothing now. They don't want no problems now. Now that they know what the fuck, now that they know you know who you are. And not only know who you are, but believe in who you are. Okay, that's what you gotta remember. You need to believe all this. Okay, you can't just, do things and, just do it because just to do it, okay, and not believe in it. Because then that would make you a hypocrite, wouldn't it? A corrupt hypocrite, perhaps. So that's why when you're doing stuff, you have to believe in what you do. Believe you're the best at what you do, okay, no matter what. There's no reason not to, okay? Always be humble, though, but yes, believe that you are, everything that you are supposed to be, okay? Because these people, they didn't want you to think that. They didn't want you to know who you are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They didn't want you to know who you were, okay? But now you know. So there's no excuses now. I don't want to hear excuses, okay? Because when you do that, it's just nothing good comes out of that. It's just, it's like, all right, okay, well, what are you gonna do about it? All right, we gotta come up with a plan here. What are we gonna do about this? Okay, what are we gonna do about this situation? All right, we've had enough of this. Okay, we've had enough of being taken for granted. Okay, we've had enough of being, overlooked. We've had enough of this. Okay, now we're protected, we know who we are, so we're going to get what is meant for us, okay? And if we have to come take what is meant for us, then we will, okay? There's nobody's going to take from us anymore, okay? And expect to get away with it. So let's get an overall energy here, God, please, and thank you, and see what we are working with. Okay, so now, like I said, these people, they're on the judgment, but they don't want to be judged. Okay, they have a lot of self-doubt, though. They have a lack of self-awareness. They do not know how they're coming off. See, when somebody that needs to be judged, doesn't want to be judged, they come off in a way where it's not cute. Okay, you could see exactly when somebody doesn't want to be judged, because it's like, if you didn't do anything, then you wouldn't care about stuff. You're like, whatever, fuck you, I didn't do it. But these people, they're trying to justify everything. Okay? They want to justify what they did, what they say, how they respond. They don't want to be judged. But guess what? The King of Swords is here, brother, and they see everything. So it doesn't really matter what the fuck they say or do, because at the end of the day, you know what they did. Okay? God knows what they did. They're not running away from this, okay? They're not running. There's no running away, okay? They're going to have to be seen for what they did. Okay? They know what they did, and they know it's wrong, okay? So that is why the King of Swords is here. And the King of Swords has seen enough, especially people who don't want to take accountability, that is. That is a judgment in reverse. Do not want to take people with a lack of accountability. They'll start blaming you for this now. This is what they're going to start doing. They're going to start blaming you for all this. It's your fault. You did this. But guess what? All eyes are on us, brother, and they can see you didn't do anything. Trust me when I tell you. Okay? Because you know why? Because you're the Queen of Swords. That's why. Okay? Because you got boundaries over here. You're not over here letting just anybody in here. Not just anybody could get into your energy. Okay? It's not going to happen. So, at the end of the day, anybody can say whatever they want. Doesn't mean it's going to be true, because then people say, listen, brother, you brought on enough heat on us, okay? You got enough eyeballs on us, okay, that you made us be seen this way, okay? You made yourself be seen as a diamond now, okay? They want you to be seen as coal. They want you to see as trash, nothing, worthless, okay? But they put too much pressure on you that there was no other way. It was either you crumbled or you became a diamond, and that's what you became a diamond. The pressure was so hard, but you still made it. And now people are like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, that just puts you on display. Like, any motherfucker that sees you, I don't care who it is, I'm talking government people, anybody, any big shot who thinks they're a big shot that sees you knows just how powerful you are now. And they know you know that too, and they know they can't do anything about it either. That's the best part about it. They can't do shit. They can't do shit to you, and you know you're fucking powerful. Okay? Because people that don't want to be seen and judged, they're trying to win at all costs against this Queen of Swords, you. Okay? And like I stated before, this Queen of Swords, you owe it all to this person, okay? This Queen of Swords, okay? This energy in you. You owe it all to this, because the reason why is because this is your boundaries, okay? Because you didn't have boundaries. Like I stated before, you were a Queen of Cups, of course. You were a Queen of Pentacles, and you were a Queen of Wands, of course. But you lacked this Queen of Swords, okay? You did not have boundaries, okay? You allowed things that shouldn't have been allowed, okay? And that's not I'm not judging. I mean, I've done the same thing. But it's just now that you have this Queen of Swords, that's not happening anymore. Them days are over. Nobody's coming around playing games now. It's like, all right, listen, brother, that doesn't work for us. We need you to go, okay? You're not tolerating anything. That's what my point is. You're not tolerating any disrespect, and you're not settling for anything less than what you deserve, okay? And the people, they don't like that you're like that now. But that's what an Empress is, okay? That's what you are. So, there you go. This Queen of Swords is what made you an Empress. It's a true story. Without a shadow of a doubt, okay? Two of Wands are in reverse. Now, these people that don't want it to be avoiding judgment here, this group, okay, they have a fear of the unknown, fear of change. They were trying to play it safe. They wanted to keep things the way they were. They wanted to keep the cycle going. They knew that you were here to change things. They knew this. But they didn't plan this far, okay? So they didn't plan this far for this Queen of Swords to be, Six of Wands publicly recognized for what they done, okay? They didn't plan that far. But guess what? You did. So just know it doesn't make a difference what the fuck they plan. All that matters is what you plan and what you got going on. These people are worthless nothings, okay? And I don't want to be a person who says bad things about, but these are really what these people are. What they did was so heinous, so corrupt, so evil and demonic that they have to be seen for this. Like, this has to be seen. Like, this is who you are, is what the, and I'm going to sit there and I will guarantee you, I will show each and every one of these people who they are, okay? Because we are ego killers, okay? We slay, we slice, we dice, we put egos in the box, brother. We chop them in half, okay? We make them disappear, and then we pull a rabbit out of the hat, and we send everybody home happy, okay? Because that's what we do here. All right, that's what we do. We don't fuck around. You ain't coming in here with an ego, okay? Because if you want to come in here with an ego, guess what? You ain't going to be leaving with one, okay? And that's actually us doing you a favor. Us killing your ego is doing you a favor, okay? That is a fact. People may not see it that way, but they will eventually, all right? Because you either kill your ego or your ego is going to kill you, okay? So if we're going to kill this ego for you, then, you know, we should ask for payment now. I want some payment for that, okay? I'm going to kill egos, but we're going to have to negotiate a price on that, all right? Because now, 10 of Wands, you released whatever bullshit this is, okay? You released it, 10 of Wands in reverse. There's nothing to this. You don't give a fuck. You're not sitting here worried about what these people are saying, what they think, what they thought you gave a fuck. They really thought you cared what they said, but you're a Queen of Swords. You don't give a fuck, okay? You just do what you got to do, all right? You know. You see it through the betrayals already, Seven of Swords. You already see it. You released. You don't care. That's what I'm saying. My point is your greatest revenge was not having to get revenge, okay? Your greatest revenge was just being the best version of yourself and then walking away and saying, go fuck yourself. I don't need you. That was the greatest thing you ever did, okay? The greatest thing you ever did was just take it. And then they thought that they were going to keep you down, like, and they were going to beat you down. You were going to be, no, stop, please. But you just got up and you just said, fuck yourself. And you said, you can't do nothing to me. You looked them right in the eyes and said, what are you going to do? And they didn't do nothing. And you said, all right, goodbye. And you fucking walked away. Turn your back. Nobody did nothing either, okay? That's how fucking strong you are. You even turned your back. You said, come on. Somebody, please. Somebody, I dare you. Hundreds of people. Nobody was willing to do anything. They were tough, though, when you didn't see them. But when you're face-to-face with them, they're not so tough anymore. Why is that? Why are they so tough in a group, you know, doing stuff that one person, I just want to know, they're over there working in a coven, okay, doing all their little spells and their chants and their fucking potion, whatever the fuck kitchen magic bullshit these people do, okay, and all cackling, laughing together, doing it to you, okay? And thinking that the funniest thing, they really thought they were tough. They thought they were very tough for that time. But they didn't think you were ever going to figure it out, okay? But then you figure it out, and nobody's tough anymore. They don't want to be judged now. They're scared. Please, they said, please don't do this to us, please. It was a joke. The only joke here is what's going to be you who did this, okay? Whoever did something like this is going to be seen as a joke. Whoever Seven of Swords you is going to be seen as a joke. You can't come. You picked wrong. That goes for DMs. That goes for whoever the fuck you want to put it to. It doesn't matter. You picked wrong. And you're going to fucking pay now, okay? Because the Queen of Swords is here, brother. You ain't getting past it. You can't get the energy. You need our energy. We don't need your energy. You tell them. It's the truth. Okay, and now you got this King of Pentacles in reverse here. Okay, so now this person really can't get. This is why. This is your counterpart. This is what is going to happen to them. Okay, I'm going to just give you. This may not even be right this second, but this is what they were in the past. A King of Pentacles in reverse, okay? This is a very greedy person who was obsessed with status and wealth, okay? Now, you as this Queen of Swords, releasing this person, okay, is causing them to really lose it because Two of Wands in reverse, they didn't plan this far, okay? And now they don't want to be judged for what they did because what they did was fucked up, okay? But it all had to happen this way. This is how you kill their ego. We are going to kill this King of Pentacles in reverse ego. We are destroying it right now, okay? Because remember, you are Nine of Cups. You're a wish come true. You're actually this King of Pentacles in reverse wish come true, okay? But you were like the forbidden fruit for them, though. Okay, they couldn't, so they had to find a way to distract themselves, to get you out of their head, because they just could not stop. But that's all they ever wanted was you. Okay, this entire time. Even right this second, they sit there and all they do is fantasize about you. But they just couldn't be with you because there was too many karmic energies that were stopping and that preventing it, okay? That were saying that, yes, of course they could have, fought these karmic energies, but like I stated before, they would have to be swimming upstream to be with you, okay? And by the time they got to you, they would already be worn out, beat up, tired, and want to go to bed, okay? So you were not going to enjoy this with this person, okay? They were going to be done. So, yes, it would have been nice to be with them, but you can't blame them because what would they have got out of that, all right? Picking you over what this is, what would they have got out of that? Because remember, you were an unproven commodity at that time. You were, okay? And the facts are is that now you are a proven commodity. Okay, now you are this Queen of Swords. Now this King of Pentacles reverse sees you as clearly this King of Swords, okay? And this person they're not happy, okay? They're miserable. What they have, and it was all because of the people around them, okay? And all because of the people around you is why this person's a King of Pentacles in reverse and you're a Queen of Swords. When the reality is you're supposed to be a Queen of Cups and they're supposed to be a King of Cups, because that's your default. That is what you have to get to. Okay, that is what it comes down to. But now you're in this Queen of Swords with boundaries, and this person is a King of Pentacles versus obsessed with wealth and status that is miserable. So, yeah, that's where things are standing right now. All right, but this is fixable, though. You got to understand, this is all fixable. So we all are going to look at it from everybody else's perspective. Remember, we're all going to look at things as the hanged man, okay? We're going to pause for surrender for a second. We're going to say, okay, well, yeah, we look at it from our point of view. Yeah, it was fucked up, but we had to deal with this King of Pentacles in reverse. Yes, that was not fun. Okay, should we hold some? Can we hold something against them? Yes, we could. Okay, but remember, they are your twin flame. 2, okay, let's look at things from their perspective. All right, just look at it from their perspective. I mean, the facts are is they had to go, like I stated. What would you want if somebody has to go through fucking hoops and fucking obstacle course, okay, just to get with you, be with you, okay, and pretty much there's a chance they could lose everything by doing this, and the fact is that you weren't even proven at that time. It would be a complete risk for that person to have taken. Okay, so just look at it from that point of view. Okay, maybe that's hard to look at, okay, but you have to look at things from a past, present, and future situation. Okay, the past of that situation was you were not the way you were now, okay? The fact is you needed this entire situation, okay, so you could become this Queen of Swords. Because you were not this Queen of Swords when you first interacted with this person. You did not have this energy, okay? And this person was aware of that, and they were able to do things because they knew how much you loved them, okay? You gave your cards away. The thing is, you showed your cards too quick. That's where you fucked up. So then this person was in complete control of the energy and the relationship at that time, that they were able to do anything. Even though they knew that you were the best thing they ever fucking, they loved you so much, but they also had all these people in their ears, okay, telling them this, that. There's so many things to this story that you don't even know about. So only thing is why I say is the Queen of Swords, yes, that is what you're going to stay in for the foreseeable future, because that's a very perceptive person who has clear boundaries. But remember, they're willing to listen, okay? Because there may be more to the story than you know, all right? That's the only thing I'm telling you. I just want you to keep these in mind. I'm not telling you what to do. I just want you to see things from all different perspectives. When you're able to do that, you become very powerful, okay? Very, very powerful. Trust me when I tell you. You can see things. You will handle things. If you just are, clear black and white, and you just dismiss, you're being closed-minded. When you're closed-minded, you're not completely healed, okay? So I just want you to understand that, okay? I'm not trying to, say anything. Just, I'm with you, okay? Trust me. You're probably the 8th house, you're me guy here, all right? I'm only here to help you, okay? Because remember, you are this Empress, okay? Empresses help Empresses, okay? That's what the hell this is all about. Queen of Wands reverses, they don't help each other. You, as Empresses, us as Empresses, help each other, okay? Because we know what it's like. We have empathy, okay? We're not here to, beat people by hook or crook. We want to get there the right way. We want to do things the right way. We're not like a Queen of Wands in reverse character. We're not going to sell ourselves. We're not going to sell our bodies. We're not going to, use our looks. We're not going to do things like that, okay? And then for all the fact of getting money. Money is fucking... It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying money's bad, but it's like the things that people are willing to do for it, though. That's what really fucks me up about it, okay? But it doesn't matter because you're this Nine of Pentacles, okay? You are clearly this Nine of Pentacles, this Empress, okay? Like I stated before, what did I say? You were a Queen of Cups, you were a Queen of Pentacles, and you were a Queen of Wands before that. But you didn't have this Queen of Swords, okay? And now that you have this Queen of Swords, what does that make you? Empress. All 4 queens of the deck, okay? Not to mention you're a High Priestess Magician. So there you go, okay? That's a Nine of Pentacles. I mean, that's where you're at, okay? Not anybody who, this King of Pentacles, they know that this is what you are, okay? Now it's being seen by everybody, okay? Especially after you release them, okay? They don't have your energy now because this Queen of Swords. Because this Queen of Swords has their back turned to this person. Like, all right, well, listen, brother, we got to go. We know who the fuck we are. We know our value. We know our worth. Okay, you go enjoy yourself over here with this, trying not to be judged. Enjoy yourself with whoever you picked over us. Enjoy yourself. Okay, they're not enjoying themselves. That's what my point is. Okay, so eventually they're going to lose it to where they're not going to be able to handle this much longer. Okay, you'll see, and then they're gonna break. It's just they're at a breaking point right now. Okay, it's just they have this ego it's on life support. This King of Pentacles in reverse. That's why they will heal. Okay, once you kill that ego for them, and then they will return to the King of Cups form like they're supposed to, and you will be the Queen of Cups that you're supposed to be. Okay, because this betrayal, okay, the Seven of Swords betrayal, you don't give a fuck no more, all right? It already happened. They wanted you with this betrayal. They thought that you would never, first off, they thought you would never find out, okay? Secondly, they thought that if you did find out, that it would destroy you. You'd be so heartbroken that, anybody would do this, especially your family. But the thing is you don't even like these fucking people. You didn't even like them. You're not like them, first off, and you don't like them. Okay, so we don't give a fuck, you said. You said you don't give a fuck what they say or do about you, okay? You don't care what somebody else's family thinks of you. They don't even know you, okay? But now they do know what you are, okay? Now they do see how powerful you are. Now everybody's in regret. Nobody wants to be judged now, okay? They all were wrong about you, okay? But the fact is, it wasn't they were all wrong about you. They were all systematically working together, projecting onto you, stealing your energy because they knew the energy you possessed was so potent, okay? They knew that you were an empath and you would absorb that energy that they projected onto you, and they knew that they were willing, and they tried to keep that from you, and they tried to... They tried to do things in such fucked up ways just to keep you down, but now you caught them. Okay, they went to this King of Pentacles and said you're a lemon, you look good on the outside, but you're broken on the inside. You're this, you're that. You're just a disappointment. You come off good and then you always fizzle out. But they didn't tell them that they were in the background projecting all this onto you. This is all they've been doing your whole life, is projecting onto you. But now that you're a Queen of Swords, nobody can project onto you, and that's why you're being seen as an Empress right now, okay? That's why this Five of Swords, this winning at all costs, this betrayal, Seven of Swords, okay? 10 of Wands reverse is being released because nobody gives a fuck. We don't care, and the people are being seen for being winning at all costs, okay? Somebody who's being seen as someone who is willing to win at all costs will always lose in the end. So that means winning at all costs really costs them, okay? Wouldn't you concur with that? Because now trying to win at all costs only means that they lost, okay? And that's all that really just matters at the end of the day. They didn't plan this far, Two of Wands reverse, okay? They didn't plan this far. They thought they were going to throw you off the cliff. You weren't going to return. Okay, they were going to push you in the pool. You were going to hit your head on the bottom. You weren't going to get back up. You weren't going to learn to swim, and they didn't think you were going to be able to do any of this, but you did. How though? How did you do it? How is it possible? How are you performing these superhuman tricks here? I'm not going to say tricks. How are you performing these superhuman feats? Is what these people want to know. Because you're superhuman. That's why. Okay, because you have God, you have Archangel Michael, you have the support of the 5D. You are a fucking made guy in the 5D. You know what that means? a made guy in the 5D, that means you can't be fucked with. Okay? And when you fuck with a made guy and you're not a made guy, what do you think happens? Do you ever watch the movies? Do you ever see what happens in Goodfellas? If you kill a made guy or you come up against a made guy when you're not a made guy, what happens to you? Same thing happens in the 5D. It's not that much different, okay? It's not that much different up there. Believe me when I tell you, okay? It's just the way it goes. Because you have this lover's energy. You are a lovely, lovely, lovely person. A lovely person, okay? And nobody will ever take that from you. And you weren't going to let it. You didn't let them take your purity. You didn't let them take your innocence. And that's why this King of Pentacles in reverse, they have so much respect for you, okay? Because they're in 8 of Cups right now, okay? This is all they are. Either they're being seen as an 8 of Cups or they're in an 8 of Cups. This is a disappointment. Whatever it is, they're going to abandon. They're withdrawing from this. They're walking away. There's nothing to this, okay? It's 10 of Wands being released. The betrayals of seen, okay? They're trying to avoid judgment. That can only last for so long. It's only going to be worse, okay? That's what's really going to kill the ego, because they're only going to get worse instead of just taking accountability. If these people are just willing to take accountability and say, listen, you know what? Kill their ego their own way. Listen, you know what? Let me look at it. I fucked up, man. You know what? Thank you for, because you're not here to like hurt these people. You're not here to get revenge. You're not here to put them in jail. You're not here to get anybody in trouble. You don't give a fuck, okay? You're not over there running the cops. You don't need none of that, okay? Because you don't need the fucking cops. You don't need none of them because we don't need them. We got God. Don't you get this? They can't do nothing. They want you not to notice. They can't do anything, brother. But I'm not saying you go out there and you do anything wrong, because you are protected if you don't do anything by your own accord, okay? So that means, like, if you continue to do the right thing while you're in good karma mode, remember that. You are in good karma territory, or you're headed there very quickly. If you continue to do the right thing after that, you'll never have anything to worry about. Nothing ever will happen to you, okay? Nobody can ever fuck with you, because this is a facts, okay? As long as you do the right thing. Now, you can't go out and do stuff wrong and then expect, oh, well, I'm protected, but that doesn't work that way. Actually, what happens in that sense is, I'm going to tell you what happens. Say right now, for instance, I would say me personally, I feel I'm healed and I'm in good karma mode. Yes, I will 100% concur, and I believe that you are too. So the fact is, now, if I went out and I did something that wasn't right, knowingly did it while being in good karma mode, while I'm already in that point, I will get immediate karma for that, okay? That would be taken right from me just like that, because that would mean that I was not healed, okay? Because then I would be willing to do something that I knew was wrong when I knew God was going to bring whatever. You know what I mean? That would mean that I just succumbed to that fucking temptation, and I would no longer be worthy of holding that. That would be a test. That'd be a test you failed. So always keep that in mind, okay? If something comes along and somebody tries to present something where, it could be viewed as illegal, it's wrong, okay? So it's wrong, but you could get away with it. Just think about that, okay? Think about it. Because the King of Swords is always watching, okay? Just because you think you got away with something doesn't mean the eye in the sky didn't see it, okay? When the eye in the sky sees it, that means that you will see it, and you know it. It's always in the back of your head. See, that's where these people are, this King of Pentacles in reverse and the others. See, they did illegal things. They did corrupt things. And they know what they did, okay? So they can't get their thoughts out of it because they know what they did, okay? And especially when it's being thrown at them, okay? And then you're sitting there, and the person they did it to is only becoming better and better and better. This was supposed to destroy you. You were not supposed to be this. You were not supposed to come back and be this, okay? This is not at all what was expected. They did not plan that far, okay? They didn't plan for that for you to be this action-oriented and ambitious Knight of Swords either. They didn't plan that. Like I said, they thought you were going to come right out, you were going to fizzle out, you were just going to fucking be on the street, oh, blah, blah, blah. I need help, these people did this to me. Like that guy, when they're sitting there, I used to be, like watching them, like living your life, and you're supposed to be like crying. This is what they envisioned. I'm telling you, this is what they, like, this is what they were trying to manifest this. that all they're doing is manifesting that for themselves because they're watching you like that now. They wanted you to watch them like they thought they were going to be like this. No, 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 brother. That's not happening. They're watching you now like that. So that is the ultimate fucking revenge for you. Trust me when I tell you. While being action oriented. Say, but stealing your energy all these years. That's why you weren't as action oriented, as ambitious as you are now. Okay? Because they were in your energy taking it. They knew what they were doing. These people all knew what they were doing. Okay? Since you were a little child, they knew what they were doing. That's the worst part about it. They were doing this to a little child. I do not tolerate any abuse on children. Ever. Okay? I will forgive anything other than that. That's my prerogative, and I will never, ever go back on that because I know that is the ultimate demon. The ultimate demon is the one that will abuse or hurt a child, especially in a very, very, inappropriate manner, okay? Because when I catch one of those people, it's not going to be a good thing for them, okay? Not me personally, but when they get to where they have to go, they're not going to have a good time, all right? Because anybody who's willing to abuse a child will pay the ultimate price for that. That is the ultimate no-no in this world, brother, okay? Murder is not the ultimate no-no. That is the other, okay? So just be aware of that when it comes to who thinks they could abuse innocent, pure people ever again. That's never going to happen, okay? Because death is here for them, okay? That's why. All right? Death is here for them. It's knocking on their door. He wants some Whoa, brother, I got a question for you. You think that you could just do this stuff to innocent people? Pure, innocent people? Is that what you think? Because if you think so, then you're mistaken. Because there's a lot of these fucks and these covens that do a lot of fucked up stuff. And we're going to let you know, King of Pentacles in reverse, you're around those people. Okay? If you're going to protect people like that, you're going to go down with people like that. You'll be seen with people like that. Keep that in mind, okay? Because there's a lot of abusers out there who think that they're going to get away with this. No, no, no. No, 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 because we know what you are. So I would suggest you do the right thing, King of Pentacles, in reverse. Kill that ego before that ego kills you. Or death is here for you. The end is here. It's a 9-year. Month and a half left in a 9-year. Whole new cycle starts in 2026. Neptune goes into Aries. That's a new 14-year cycle. Direct. Okay, you got Uranus going into Gemini. Direct. Okay, they already been there, but now they're coming back. And that means that they are going to be there for the next 7. Well, Neptune will be there for 14 years and Uranus will be there for 7 years. It's a whole new fucking world right there, brother. You must understand how serious that is, okay? Just imagine 14 years ago, okay? This is the first cycle. You were stuck in a Neptunian cycle. That's what you need to understand. Okay, for the last 14 years, and now it's all coming to an end. It's all over because you completed it. You survived it. And now, whoever did whatever they did has to balance themselves out. Now they have to deal with that Neptunian cycle for the next 14 years while you get to enjoy quite the nice life for the rest of time. Okay, because you survived what was supposed to destroy you. Okay, now you're in this 3 of Wands. Okay, so whatever you had planned, whatever you were envisioning and putting down, you actually have an action. You're actually in action right now. Okay, you have got your garden now is sprouting. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not, by any stretch anything big, but it's something that you're proud of, that garden. You say, wow, I can't believe, wow, I actually did that, okay? So it's like you appreciate just the couple tomatoes you have there, okay? The couple onions. You're happy with that. You're like, okay. You're not satisfied. It's not like that's all you want, but you're grateful, okay? You're just grateful for that. And that's why it's going to keep growing, because you're grateful. And now anybody who came up against you, especially as King of Pentacles in reverse, they're in the 5 of Cups. They're disappointed, okay? They're in regret. They're, not having a good time over there. A lot of disappointment. That's why they have this 8 of Cups here, okay? This 8 of Cups, this is why they're in a 5 of Cups. All right, listen. At the end of the day, I told you once, I'll tell you twice, I'll tell you a million times, all right? Because I could see things from all different perspectives, all right? I could see things from, I am 110% divine feminine, okay? Without a doubt, so I see things mainly from that perspective, okay? But I also now have the ability to see things from the divine masculine's perspective, something that I was unable to do in the past. because that was difficult. Because you would say to yourself, well, why would you not? You know we're soulmates. You know we're this. You know we're that. You know how much I love you. You know you do this. You know. And it's like, that's not what it's about. That wasn't even, yes, of course you know, but do you understand what it's all about? And no, you did not understand that. So you had to go through all this. Even though, like I stated, it was almost like the two of you were here, okay, and you had all these demons that were like right in front of you. It was just like you had to to get to each other, you had to go through all these demons. Like there was no other way to do it. Like you weren't just gonna come together and there's like you saw it was like you were looking at each other from the outside of the thing and you're like trying to like come together, but it's like every time you were about to find a thing that they all closed that thing. So it got to the point where it was like, all right, so this is what's going to happen. Basically, you figure you have to separate because the more you stay close to each other, okay, the easier it makes for them to keep you separated, really, at the end of the day, because they can see what you're doing. That you're more predictable at that time. They can control you more with your emotions, okay, because that's what they were able to do in the past, control you emotionally. So what has happened here is now that you separating from this King of Pentacles in reverse, now them, because realistically, like I told you before, the original plan for this is for you to be a king, them to be a King of Cups, and you to be a Queen of Cups. That is how this was supposed to be. This was not supposed to get this far to where, but you developed now. Okay, so well, look what happened. So now this person is a King of Pentacles in reverse. Someone who's obsessed with wealth and status. This is what your counterpart is. They're obsessed with wealth and status. They're obsessed with how things appear. They think their mind has been warped by like money and other stuff like that. Okay, and then you had to become this Queen of Swords, this person who has boundaries, who doesn't, has to be, look at people a certain way and, has to do a lot of different things. You've been through a lot. You have to be through a lot to become a Queen of Swords. You don't just become a Queen of Swords by accident. Okay, that's not something that happens by accident because there'd be no reason to be a Queen of Swords. If everything was, like I stated before, everything was all love, why would you be that? You wouldn't be this way. But that's after you've been hurt is when you become a Queen of Swords, okay? But that made you an Empress. So, okay, cool. That's reality-wise, thank you. You benefited there, okay? You benefited. Would it have been nice just to be a Queen of Cups, King of Cups with them? Absolutely. Would you love that? Yes. Okay, I understand. I get it. But that wasn't going to happen with all this demon fucking interference, all this karmic energy around you, both of you. How would that have happened? How would it have been cleared? How would you have cleared all that if you just came? It would have never worked. You would have been, if both of you's been swimming upstream the whole time, you wouldn't even enjoyed it. It would have been more a chore to you, and you would have eventually resented each other, and then separated anyway, and then both had to go crawling back to whoever your family is and then say, see, told you, and that's exactly what would have happened. So you were at least smart enough, like I gotta tell you, in the 5D, because I know what goes on there, brother. Trust me when I tell you. In the 5D, you and your counterpart said you realized that, okay? So you said what we have to do is you have to, this is what your counterpart told you. I have to go in there and basically, realistically, they sacrificed themselves for you, okay? And they said you have to go become the best version of yourself. Okay, you have to be that while this person sacrificed. Now, this person's going to heal. Don't get me, they're not done. They didn't sacrifice themselves where they're done to finish because they're going to heal. But it's going to be up to you to see that healing, okay? Then when that does happen, you have to look past what they did, okay? Because this was the only way you could be together. You have to remember that, okay? I just need you to understand that. Remember that, please. You have to remember there's a 5D, okay, which is your spirit, okay? There's your soul, which is, your voice and all that. Like, that is, I would say, it's 4D. I don't know, but I don't know, the term's not used. Okay, but that's your soul. And now the 3D is the physical. Okay, where we're at right now, what we're doing is the physical. Okay, so that you have to remember that this is all about, I mean, you've already been with this person multiple lifetimes. Like, don't you understand you've been with this person for fucking hundreds of lifetimes before, you know what I mean? Not all of them, but I'm saying this is an opportunity to reunite with this person, okay? This is where it comes. So when people say, oh, no, never this, then, I mean, you're not, I have to say maybe if they're healed, I'm saying yes, you're not going to reunite with somebody who's in a King of Pentacles reverse energy. No, I understand that. But if when this person comes as their emperor, which they will, because they said this is the only way they come together is by you becoming the best version of yourself, okay? Because that will eventually make them become the best version of themselves, because you are the same thing. Remember that. That's what you got to remember, that part too. I think a lot of people forget that. But whatever, listen, it's all coming into play, all right? And you will make the right decision. You can say whatever you want now. You could feel however you want now about this person. But you know at the time you will make the right decision, okay? Because you will know what it feels to be home, okay? You will be able to go home now. All right, and you know why? Because Page of Pentacles is here, okay? Because you are manifesting this. You are manifesting this person to come home, okay? Because that is your home, just like you are their home. Why do you think you felt so comfortable with this person? Why do you think you felt love that you never felt before? Why do you know what a spiritual love, I mean, I know you do, I'm saying, but just realize a spiritual love is much different than a physical love, okay? It's much difficult. I mean, much different and more difficult, you know, because you have your soul who will recognize. That's what happened. You met this person and your souls, okay, recognized. It was called a soul recognition, okay? It was maybe we made eye contact or whatever it was. Something happened along those lines where when you did that, you're both your souls recognized. Now, maybe, I believe you may have recognized it first, okay, but they still knew that something was special there. They knew that, okay? They knew that. Believe me when I tell you, they adored you. But they had a lot of these people in their ear saying a lot of bad things about you, okay? Saying that I'm talking nasty stuff that is embarrassing, but I'm saying, but none of it was true. That's the thing. Like, so it was like, it would be difficult to even ask you these questions. Like, it's just easier just to, well, if all these people are saying this about you, including your own family, it has to be true, okay? And that would be what any normal person, what would you think, okay? If everybody's saying something about one person, are you going to sit there and say, no, I don't believe that? Of course, maybe one or two people might do that, but they're not going to say nothing. They're just going to stay, because they're not going to go against, they're not going to put themselves on the line. That's why nobody came to your defense. Nobody's going to put themselves on the line for you, okay? Because would you? Ask yourself that. If it was somebody else and you're sitting there and you know, maybe you would, okay? But that would depend if you were willing to risk your whole security, your whole fucking life for that. I don't believe you would. Just for somebody that I don't know. Okay, unless you want to be a hero, I'm not sure. But guess what, though? It doesn't make a difference what the fuck would have happened, because you solved the puzzle. You are the one who has this Wheel of Fortune. That's the facts. I mean, you already solved the puzzle. The prize is on the way. You already picked the prize. You got the grand prize, all right? It's an Emperor. It's on the way. Okay, they're coming. All right, it's a long reading. Well, whatever. You don't mind, do you? You don't mind. So, see what we can see. All right, so what's going to happen with this King of Pentacles in reverse? Okay, that's, walking away from this Eight of Cups that don't want to be judged, that you release, for this Ten of Wands reverse, for this betrayal, okay? And this, and while you were over here, this Empress, who's a Queen of Swords, manifesting, while in this Three of Wands, already having your secret garden sprouting. So, you are clear as day getting to where you need to be to, while this person is going in the opposite direction. All right, and now you're going to return to what it is. Like I stated, okay, brother, I told you, you will always return to this Queen of Cups, okay? That's who you will return to, just like this person will return to this King of Cups, okay? So now we know that you will return to this Queen of Cups, all right? Because that was originally what you were meant to be with this King of Cups, okay? You didn't, all this that came from that turn you into this Empress. See, this is what you originally were, okay? This is what you were from the beginning, okay? Just like that person with the King of Cups. So you developed into other things, though. You developed into being a Queen of Pentacles. Okay, this was always you, right from the beginning. Your counterpart was always a King of Cups, right from the beginning. You could go certain ways with that, okay? But you became a Queen of Wands. You became a Queen of Pentacles. That wasn't just by accident. That takes skill, okay? This is natural, though. Okay, Queen of Cups comes naturally to you. All right, and this was what got you to, and then you being this Queen of Cups, okay, and being hurt is what made you have to become this Queen of Swords now, okay? And you have the ability to flip-flop from the Queen of Cups to a Queen of Swords And that's a very, very intriguing to a lot of people because it's so difficult to do that. You have to have complete mastery over your emotions to do that. Okay, and that's what's going to get you to this Ten of Pentacles, because the fact that you have complete control over your emotions means that you're able to take your heart, you're able to use your head over the heart. And when you're able to use your head over the heart, that is when you win. Okay, now I'm not saying you're not going to use your heart, because you go right back to a Queen of Cups, but this person, okay, this person, whatever, I want to do it in a way where they were like looking, but this person defends, okay, they protect this person. They let you just sit there and do your loving without having to worry about nothing, while this Queen of Swords watches your back, okay? That's exactly what they're doing. They watch your back. Nobody's going to come with any blindside attacks from you anymore, okay? That's why you are this Empress. Does that make sense? I think it does, okay? So just remember that. Remember, okay, because I did state that you are this Queen of Cups, okay? I did state that, and I did state that your counterpart was originally this King of Cups, did I not? Okay, so there you go. Okay, there you go. That is exactly what is going to have to be the return. This is what the original was, okay? This is what you were originally, okay? But now, you are this, okay? And this is that, okay? So now, this has to get back to that, okay? And you can flip-flop at any time to this, so it doesn't matter. So you are fine. The point now is this King of Cups now this King of Pentacles has to get their ego killed, and then they will be returned to this King of Cups, and then everything that was supposed to happen will happen the way it was supposed to, but except now you'll be 10 times more powerful, okay, than you would have been if that wasn't the case. And now you'll be almost indestructible. There's not going to be any, they know they can't stop you. That's why there's a whole new age here. That's why you're ushering this in with this person. That's what's happening here. That's what I need you to understand. That's why you're in this hermit energy, okay? That's why you're becoming the best version of yourself, okay? You always become the best version of yourself while you're hermit energy, because there's no distractions. There's no way that anybody can get in your energy, because you will become a Queen of Swords while you're in this hermit energy, okay? And that is what develops you into this Empress, okay? It's like you went in your cocoon, okay? You caterpillared into a butterfly, okay? You caterpillared into a butterfly. This Queen of Cups you did, okay? Look at this. You got your Queen of Swords here, your Queen of Cups, and your Empress here, okay? While in hermit energy, who Page of Pentacles is manifesting, and Three of Wands has their action plan actually in action now, okay? And it has an Ace of Pentacles coming their way. Financial opportunity, abundance is coming your way, because you're continually consistent, you're continually working, you're continually showing what you're capable of, okay? You're continually proving whoever said what about you is wrong. It's not even an option. I mean, nobody could say anything. There's no way this is going to stop. You're a Nine of Pentacles, okay? Of course you're going to get the Ace of Pentacles. Who's going to give it to you? Now, like I stated, it's all energy now. This person may never recover from this, but you will get that King of Cups energy, and it will return to you as this Queen. You know what I mean? But now you're an Empress, okay? So you will get an Emperor who will return to their King of Cups. So it doesn't matter if it's this person that you think is your counterpart, okay? Because remember, you're going to forget about them even if they don't, because then it's all going to come and say, oh, okay, yeah, they were never, it's all going to, trust me, it all will fall into place, you'll see. But this person knows what they got to do, this King of Pentacles in reverse. They are not happy, and they're not having a good time. So they're not going to stay for this. Okay, they're going to become Knight of Swords, okay? They're going to have to become action-oriented and ambitious to become what you became, because you've already done that. You were already in this Knight of Swords, okay? You already have stayed as the one who becomes the Fawn, because you are the Sun. Remember, your positivity is why you're an Empress right now. You could have went bigger here, okay? You could have been a Queen of Cups. You could have turned into a Queen of Cups in reverse after that. Because if anybody who hurts a Queen of Cups, that's also a very fucking serious crime, because that is not right. A Queen of Cups is a very nurturing, loving person, does not deserve to be done spell work on, okay, and wished bad upon. That's not right, okay? And that's why you became this Queen of Swords. That protects that from now. Now you're a full-blown Empress. Never forget that. I want you never to forget that, because you are going to build your foundation on this Ten of Cups. That's what you're doing. You're a Queen of Cups. You always will, because this Ten of Cups creates abundance, all right? Because you have this Page of Wands energy. You are limitless potential. You're an inspiration, okay? So what's going to come out is, we know you're building your foundation on the Ten of Cups. I'm going to do another deck that's going a little long. You're in hermit energy. You're manifesting. Yes, we know. You're action-oriented, ambitious. All right, your whatever betrayal, Seven of Swords, is being released, Ten of Wands reverse. All right, they're trying to avoid judgment because they don't want to be seen for what they did, but clearly being viewed as an Eight of Cups. People are, abandoning ship. They see this as a sinking ship. They're withdrawing. They don't want to do this. They're trying to escape. Okay, because they didn't plan this far. Two of Wands in reverse, and you have this King of Pentacles here, so in reverse. So that tells me that this person didn't plan this far, but I know this person did plan this far. I believe it's the people around them that not plan this far for you to come back this way. Okay, because this is what's going to heal this person. Okay, this is what is going to do it, if they're not already healing now. So I just try to look at things. I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate here for this person, and I want to make sure that they don't, that you could see it from their perspective too. That's what I have to start working on. I got to start showing things better from their perspective, so you don't, because I know a lot of the thoughts that you think, a lot of it's not even true. A lot of it's just projected into your head to make you think stuff. All right, that's just the devil doing that. Okay, because they're trying to create illusions with this moon. That's exactly what this was. It was a moon magic to create illusions about you, but all that did is get you to this publicly recognized, the Six of Wands. Okay, you're going to be publicly recognized for remaining in this ability to create this Ten of Cups while being under so much pressure, okay, for being attacked as this Queen of Cups, who then became this Queen of Swords, who now is this Empress who is in Hermit energy, exactly who you are. That is, Page of Pentacles manifesting and has a Three of Wands here. Okay, clearly built something. Clearly built something. Okay, not completely finished, but built something. All right, and that's why they're being publicly recognized. So I'm going to do one more, and then if I don't get what I want, I'm going to do another deck, and we're going to figure out about this King of Pentacles in reverse. That's what we're going to focus on now. We already know what you got going on here. It's no big deal. I mean, we already know this. How much more are we going to talk about ourselves? We got to figure out what these people are doing. That's what we got to figure out. Okay, so we got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So there was lack of long-term view here. Okay, they did not plan this for. All right, they were limited success rewards as being seen by this King of Pentacles in reverse. As a person who's obsessed with status and wealth now is working without reward or has limited success and has a lot of distractions around them because of the moon, these illusions. Okay, but now they're being shattered. And they're being shattered very quickly, Eight of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to see what we get out of this. What's going to come of this for this King of Pentacles in reverse? Okay, and then if I don't get what I want, I'm going to go do this deck. God, please and thank you. What's going to be the end result for this King of Pentacles in reverse here when it comes to you? Okay, Three of Pentacles in reverse. So it says there's going to be disharmony. They're going to be working alone. There's a lack of teamwork. There's disorganized. There's group conflict. So this person, like I said, they're miserable. They're not having a good time. So it's a work environment right now. If this was ever, it probably was a work environment if you were involved with this person and people were bad-mouthing you. You had somebody. Now, it's a lot of disharmony. There's not much fun. There's nobody's making money now. This King of Pentacles in reverse, they're losing money. Three of Pentacles. So you got a King of Pentacles in reverse that's in a Three of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, that was stuck in confusion with the Seven of Cups. Okay, because of the options that people want to put in front of them. They want to keep them busy. Okay, keep them stuck. All right, so now we know what that is. So this King of Pentacles in reverse right now is stuck. Okay, confused over their options that they know are not an option, but now there's all these disharmony over here because this lack of teamwork. Every man for themselves. Like I said, they're escaping. Eight of Cups. Everybody's abandoning ship right now. That's where you're at. While you are just building your Ten of Cups, you have your foundation in this Three of Wands. It's exactly what you're doing. You built your foundation on Ten of Cups, and now you're building, the sprout is coming out of it. Okay, now the garden's growing. Okay, you're getting towards that Four of Wands. Makes sense, doesn't it? I think it does. And if I think it does, it does. It's the truth. Okay, so just know that. And I know you know that. I'm kidding. I would never talk to you like that. So just let's take a look at what we're working with here. Let's get a little Cell Nation, and then we'll go. All right, so just know you do have the devil here, all right? So, of course, the devil is the greed demon that put into this King of Pentacles, obsessed with the status and wealth. That was what they used against him. That was their weakness, okay? So that's why they were put in the position to have, like, they were able to make a lot of money, this person. This person was able to bring in probably millions of dollars. So the fact of the matter is, if not, I'm not saying everybody, but they were able to make money, this person, at one time, okay? They came from money, realistically, okay? So it wasn't like they did it themselves, but they were able to maintain that and, build upon that. But now they're losing it all, okay? Because they got too greedy and they were too obsessed with how they were appeared, okay? And that's why the Ace of Wands is here, because the Ace of Wands is a card of inspiration, new opportunities, growth, and potential. It represents a creative spark that motivates and inspires you to pursue a new path. exactly what you did. You didn't sit around waiting for these people. You didn't say, oh, they left me behind. Oh, that's what they wanted you to do. They want you to feel like you feel like you're missing something, all right? But that's why you're in this hermit energy, okay? That confirms the hermit here, because that is why you became the best version of yourself. It's how you became that Queen of Swords, okay? It's how you became that Empress. It's the truth. I mean, if you didn't, then you would have, the devil card. You would have had the devil around, okay? You had to get away from these people, okay? That's why you had the Seven of Pentacles. That's why you had a long-term view, okay? You're perseverant. You hard work. I mean, there's no other way. You had no other choice. It was either do that or do or die. It was, okay? And that is why you did, and you became this Nine of Pentacles. Okay, because remember, the Nine of Pentacles, that means you have the independence and the abundance to live your life on your terms. Okay, and you're clearly building that with this Ten of Cups, okay, as your foundation. So I need you to know you are on point, well on point to where you are. You're well past schedule now. Look at this for you. That's one long one. I'm already almost in an hour. Look at that. How about that? So sometimes I try not to go this long, but I usually don't. I don't know. Sometimes, sometimes, I guess once in a while. But all the time, though, I mean, come on. Doing this for hours, that's crazy. There's only so much you could get. But this, for some reason, I got a lot out of this. I was able to talk a lot about that. Especially when it came to this King of Pentacles reverse. I'm trying to do it from both angles here. I mean, I could see it from their point of view. We're just looking at it from a love point of view, but they're looking at it from more, because this person probably has a lot more earth. They're more earthly. They probably have more earth sign to them. Okay, you are more water and air is what I feel, and they are more earth and fire. That's what I believe. Okay, and you know what else I believe? I believe you have a Three of Cups here, because you're gonna have a good time with your soul tribe. Okay, Three of Cups. You're going to have your chalices out. You're going to be high-fiving. You're going to be, laughing it up, okay? Because it's a spiritual and emotional awakening that connects you with your intuition, divine love, and the abundance of life. That is your soul tribe, okay? And your soulmates, okay? Because remember, you needed to have the strength for that to happen, though. You could not just, falter and, go under. You had to go through a lot here, okay? You had to clear a lot of karma here to get this. That's what it is. These are why they're called karmic energy. Okay, you have to clear that energy, okay? It's called clear karma to get to be with your counterpart, all right? That's what, people have to understand what this is, all right? Because believe in your inner strength. Deal with problems in a gentle and firm way. You don't have to be all hard-ass about it, okay? You don't let people get away with stuff. You're stern, but you're not too stern, okay? And you just have a lot of influence when it comes to what you do. You overcame any self-doubt you had. All right, you're not at all. You have the confidence now to be who you want to be, and that's exactly what you're doing. You don't care what anybody thinks. This is what this King of Pentacles, they cared what people thought, but they were put in that position. That was what their lesson was. Okay, and again, you have the Seven of Pentacles here because you worked hard. Okay, you worked hard and you earned your success. Don't forget that, okay? That's why this Ace of Cups is also coming here to you, okay? Because you're a Nine of Cups. You are this King of Pentacles inverse wish come true. You are actually, when they are a King of Cups, this King of Cups wish come true, okay? That's what you are. This person, this is not who you know. You don't know this King of Pentacles, or this is not who you know. This is a demon there, okay? That devil is doing that, all right? So remember, but they are going to get better. When they become this Ace of Cups, there's going to be this, when they become a King of Cups, there's going to be a new emotional beginning that brings love, joy, and abundance into your life. An overflowing cup that symbolizes the infinite potential and possibilities of your emotions, okay? Like I stated, all right? It doesn't necessarily have to be with just this person, that you will get the energy of this, okay? The energy will go to somebody else then, and you will look at it. You will never even think about this person again, because it's the energy that's going to. These are all energies that are trying to get together. That's what it comes down to. Your energy wants to be. It could go to this person, but it's going to go to another person when it finds the way, once you clear enough energy. Trust, it's very difficult to understand, but it's all happening now. But let's just focus on this person actually now, this King of Pentacles in reverse. All right, because now the Chariot in reverse here. So there's a lot of obstacles. Like I said, there's this karmic energy that was preventing all this. Okay, this person lacked confidence and didn't have much willpower. All right, there's a lot of setbacks here. All right, so that was designed that way because we needed you to become who you are. They had this Seven of Cups, these options to see that you are not an option, okay? They see that there's too many choices, too many options, too many possibilities, but not all of them were realistic or beneficial. They made it like all of them. Everything was beneficial and realistic except you. That's all that these people, that was their main goal, is to make them think that you were the one thing that was not realistic, okay? But now it's like that you're being seen as the only thing that's realistic because this person is letting go of regret, they're motivated, they have an end of stagnation, and they're very enthusiastic. They're going to be that way because they know, as King of Pentacles in reverse, they have one thing that's keeping them going right now, and that's just the thought of reuniting with you, okay? That's the one thing that keeps them going right now, okay? They might not be healed, but that's the one thing that they don't reason that they still are, still have any motivation to them, okay? Because, again, you say now you have this Five of Cups in reverse, so that means that they are accepting help, they're healing, all right? They want to rejoin the world, they want to come to this new world, okay? They're overcoming despair, releasing this emotional baggage, okay? I mean, that was just after, that's good, okay? So, Two of Pentacles, but at the end of the day, that you had the balance there. You were able to flex. You were flexible. You were adapting. You were multitasking. This person was unable to do that. They were overwhelmed by too many financial or career options, and they needed to focus on what's most important and realistic for them. Okay, and that was you. They weren't focused on that. Okay, they were focused on everything else but that. Okay, but now they're realizing that was the only thing they should have been focused on, and that is why they're in this Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, they're forgiving themselves for that. They have to forgive themselves. That's another thing too. They know what they did. Okay, and that's why the Knight of Cups is here, okay? Because they know how romantic and charming you are. You have those intuitive messages here. You're very altruistic, okay? You have a gift for creating beauty and harmony in your life and the lives of others, okay? That's why people want to come with this foundation of this Ten of Cups. I mean, it's not that difficult to see that you're a Queen of Cups. It's really not. That you're, this Empress who has boundaries with this Queen of Swords, and it's very action-oriented and ambitious, driven to succeed. I mean, that's who you are. That's exactly who you are, okay? And that's why you being exactly who you are puts these people in the Eight of Swords. They're stuck. They said you weren't this. They told this person you were everything but this. Okay, but why are you everything that they ever wanted? Why are you exactly what they ever always wanted? Okay, this is what these people, they can't explain that, what they did, all right? And that's why they're stuck, okay? It's a card of restriction, confusion, and powerlessness. It signifies the need to release negative thoughts, gain clarity, and find freedom from self-imposed limitations. They impose themselves, okay, they have a self-imposed prison because what they said about you is not true, and they're not willing to take accountability for it. That's why they want to avoid judgment. If they have admitted what they did, then it would be a lot easier, but they don't want to. They want it to be pulled out of them. Whatever, no problem. All right, and that's what, okay, so you got persona non grata here. So you have this King of Wands in reverse now. Okay, this ruthless bastard, okay, probably had a lot to do with this, okay, because this person, I believe this originated from, okay, this person said they knew you or something, and that they were saying that, oh, you're nothing, this and that, but now this person really needs to fucking, if they don't want to walk the plank, they better fucking come clean, but we don't know. We don't know what this person's going to do, because at the end of the day, you don't give a fuck. You never liked this person anyway, because you're the fool, brother. Okay, you are pure and innocent. Nobody's going to tell you otherwise, all right? You have a new beginning here. The fool advises you to embrace your inner child, follow your dreams, and trust your intuition, and encourage you to live an open, curious mind and a sense of excitement. Okay, you do. You bring a sense of excitement to the table. So you bring something different here. Right? So what's going on here? Maybe this King of Wands in reverse could be this King of Pentacles in reverse, too. Maybe that's what because they are an emperor, so we could look at it from that point of view, too. So, yeah, that could be it. They're hasty, impulsive, they have high expectations. So, but I don't know. I don't see you being with a King of Wands in reverse. Like, I can't see this person being ruthless, though. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you just don't know them as well, all right? But there's a Five of Swords here, okay? So somebody was trying to win at all costs. I believe maybe it was this King of Wands in reverse, and they felt the way to win at all costs against you was to, tell this King of Pentacles in reverse all these bad things about you, okay, hoping that they didn't want to work with you. But now all that created for them was a Three of Pentacles in reverse now, because there's all this chaos, because these people working together to come against you. Maybe they got something at the beginning, but now they're losing everything, while you have this Three of Pentacles here, okay, while you are working with others who share your vision and goals, okay, you are collaborating, okay, you are having teamwork, all right, you have people, the right people around you. These people are now, their illusions are all being shattered. They didn't plan this far. They didn't think that you were going to catch them. Okay, but now you have what you wanted. Okay, so this is what we know. This King of Pentacles reversed. Of course, yes, they were going to be that King of Cups, we say. But that is why they're going to become this Emperor. Okay, this is what they want to do. This is what they know. You're an Empress. They want to come as an Emperor. They don't want to just come as a King of Cups now. Okay, because that you would, even though you'd be happy with that, they feel that they need to be this to match you, okay, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine if that's what they believe, okay, because the illusions here are shattered. There's nothing anybody could say or do that's going to show that this Emperor, okay, you have this Emperor in your energy. So there you go. I mean, that's what's telling me is going to come out of this energy being cleared. One way or another, this Emperor is going to come, okay? It's happening. Whether you have to be your own Emperor or not, that Emperor energy is going to come. Okay, because you have the strength, okay? You have the strength of 5 to 10 women, okay? You have the strength of 10 men, 10 women, okay? You're too strong for this nonsense, okay? You're not gonna crumble, okay? You're not gonna let this devil ever come against you. They're going back to hell to never be seen or heard from again. They cannot cut the mustard, all right? They can't, once they're seen, they're done. All right, so what's gonna happen here? Can we just get an end result here? Because it's going a little too long, I'm sorry. We have this Emperor here. We know that this, you know, King of Pentacles versus King of Wands versus whatever. Maybe that's what they're going to become, this Emperor. Maybe they're not there yet. Okay, let's just know that. All right, but when they do, this is when they come. This is what they will come. They won't come to you as a King of Wands in reverse or a King of Pentacles in reverse. They will only come to you when they're, because that's the only way they will be allowed to be around you. Okay, they're not allowed to be around you any other way. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, because now the Ten of Wands is here. They got to carry all the burden, okay? This Ten of Wands is a card of burden, extra responsibility, hard work. It represents the situation where you have to put in a lot of effort and sacrifice to achieve your goal. And they can't do this any longer, okay? They cannot, there's nothing, it's not working anymore. What they said about you does not work, okay? Because you're the Knight of Pentacles. You're too hardworking, you're too productive. You have a routine, you're too efficient, and people see it. So they can't say, oh, they don't do this. Okay, well, they don't do it 24. Well, they do it 24 hours a day. So how are you going to tell us that they don't do this? What are you talking about? That's what people want to know. They want to know, what the fuck is this Eight of Pentacles in reverse? Why are you saying that you're not, you know, working hard? You don't do this. You're not. This is a lot of this is a lack of focus here. These people are mediocre. They try to, you know, they want to take your energy. They just try to project this mediocrity onto you. Okay, thinking that that's only what they are. Okay, now they're being seen completely as mediocre, while you are being seen as this high priestess, okay? Because you are a high priestess magician who is also an empress, okay? So that is where you are. So I need to clear this one. We got to get this ending here. What's going to happen here? Can I please get something? It's this Emperor. They're going to come. It was the King of Cups. What are we going to do? What's going to happen here? Okay, we know now, Four of Swords, they're going to be resting and relaxing, okay? So your Emperor now is resting and relaxing, which tells me that they're healing, okay? So this person now is healing, okay, because you are a master magician, gangster magician, and you are going to keep doing what you're doing. You're going to keep being the best version of yourself. You're going to keep staying action-orientated. You're still going to stay strong, okay? And you're going to, you know, keep being hardworking. So whoever wants to heal, wants to rejoin the world, if they come there healed, yes, you will listen because you're a Queen of Swords. But if you feel that something's off, then yes, you will tell them to leave. And that's no problem. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to let anybody bring you down. You're not going to let anybody join you that doesn't believe in you. Okay, they're not going to come if they don't believe in you, okay? Because if they don't believe in you, then they're going to go to the Five of Pentacles. That's where they're going. Anybody who didn't believe in you, anybody who came up against you, that is where they're going, because that's where they wanted you to be, okay? And that's why the Two of Swords is here, okay? They're avoiding that, though. They're trying their best to avoid it, trying to keep it deadlocked, but like I said, it's only a matter of time. The end is here for these people. The end is here, all right? No doubt about it, the end is here. It's without a shadow of a doubt, okay? And that's why the end is here for this Queen of Cups in reverse, because we know you're a Queen of Cups, but this Queen of Cups in reverse, okay? So this is another one that was around your counterparts. This is more a coven than anything. That this is probably your copycat. They were trying to say that you were this, but now all they're doing is showing exactly how crazy they are, while you are being Six of Wands publicly recognized, because you have the Six of Wands as a card of success, victory, achievement, and recognition. It represents the joy and satisfaction that comes from accomplishing a goal or milestone. And this Queen of Cups in reverse has to watch that, okay? That's going to be their karma. Watch you in all your glory, while they have to sit there and fucking live or whatever hell, okay, in the Sun reverse energy, because they're negative and depressed. Because you have this Ace of Wands here, you have this new project, okay? You're coming off as a card of inspiration, new opportunities, and growth and potential. It represents a creative spark that motivates and inspires you to pursue a new path. Okay, this negative Queen of Cups in reverse is seeing that. They're jealous because they thought they were going to get that from you. That they were promised your destiny, but no, they're going to get nothing, okay, except a fucking smack in the mouth, okay, because now they have clouded judgment, Two of Swords in reverse. There's a lot of frustration, aggression. Okay, this person may be even getting violent. Who knows? They're getting crazy, all right? But at the end of the day, you will have this Two of Cups, because that will always be your end result, because that is your wish come true. And we're going to end it there because I went way too long, and I am sorry. But remember, the Two of Cups is a partnership and unity that's based on shared values, compassion, and creativity. A spiritual and emotional fulfillment that is expressed through love and joy and celebration. Okay, you know who that's going to be between now? I just need you to understand who that will be between the Two of Cups, all right? Because you have this Emperor here, okay, and you also have this Empress. So just remember, that is a high-level twin flame kingdom spouse, brother. Remember that when you're an Emperor and Empress, okay, when you come together. Because that is what your wish come true is. Two of Cups, okay? There you go. And you could always thank this Queen of Swords, okay? Because they are the ones who got you here. And so with this Hermit. This Hermit said, see, I told you what to do, and now you listen. See where I got you? Okay, now this Hermit says you owe him money now. All right, so I'll see you later, bye.